Okay. Oh, well. Barra, do you move a small bit this side?
Okay.
Wait,
right.
the flag or what?
That's
No,
good,
Barra.
yeah, no.
Barra, can you go over to your right a little tiny bit? That's in there now. Spot on. Right. How are we all doing?
Public na Héireann, Réaltas
Hang on
Sealadach.
there now. Are we ready?
Yes, yeah. Hang
sorry,
on, start
camera.
again, hang on.
Exactly, you know what I mean.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
Public na Héireann, Réaltas Sealadach, Public na Héireann, le muintir na Héireann. A ara agus a bhaná na Héireann. An anam dé agus glúnta na marad bhón a bhain siad a sean tradiisiún mar náisiún. Tá éire, trína, ag garam a chlinne chun a bratí agus ag búla buile son a síirse. Tá réishtí agar agus oliúnta chóir ar a cuid fear trína hagracht rúnda réimhlóideach, brathrachas Public na Héireann, agus trína hagrachtaí mínathe oscailta óglí na Héireann, agus arm cathair na Héireann. Tá réishtí a rial bhéis a chóir go freineach, an fórfachta agus fehef, Rún dangan leis an bhéal íhéin a éil siú go tráthail, tá sé ghlachan na fáile sin an isis, agus le takeíocht óna chláán atá ar deoireacht na Americá, agus ó cóghúlathe calma san Eorop, ach ag seasamh dí ar an neartdéilis féin ar an géad asc, tá sé ag búla buile agus í lán dóchasach go Murphy siad nua.
Public na Héireann, the provisional government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory.
Cearmhéimid gur ceart ceanasach buchlíte ag ceart muintir na Héireann, ar dhéilte na Héireann agus ar chócht gan coscar cinúnt na Héireann. Fór an chuirt sin atá ach timbert le fada ag pobl agus ag réaltas achtarnach. Níor bhóg sí an ceart sin, na ní féidir é a bhóga go brach ach le díthú muintir na Héireann. Gach blúnd ar tháinig, dhearbhí muintir na Héireann a gheart ar thiirse agus ar leithas náisiúnta. 6 uair le 300 bliain anuas a dhearbhí siad faoi armé. Ag seasamh dún ar an gheart, chunig sin agus a dhearbhú a rís dún faoi arm os cá an téal. Fógréimiid leis seo Public na Héireann ina stad ceanasach neamhsplach agus chuirimiid ar meó féin agus beo ar compánach arm min neall lena síirse, lena las agus lena móra I measc na neáise.
We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and a government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and its exaltation among the nations.
Líon Public na Héireann agus éilíonn leis seo, díalseach muintir uile na Héireann, idir éir agus bhaná. Rahíonn an Public saoirse creideamh agus saoirse sibhialta, chomh chearta agus chomh dheisna dá sa ránig uile. Agus dearbhíonn gur rúndaí féchan chuig séin agus sonas an náisiún uile agus gach páirteide. Chlanna uile an náisiún na chuomhnú go chortam, gan beann echi ar na difriachtaí ar chuthaí réaltas clubhéach go chuirmach iad, agus a dheil mionlach an trumlach san am a chuaigh hart.
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious to the differences carefully fostered by an alien government, which have divided the minority from the majority in the past.
Gajega Jochi Anun, the Yard Arn Yarm, Realtas Nation, the Blown of Unu, a Yankee Unadia, the Winter Ill in a Heron, agus a Hawk for the Voti, a Quid Far, agus Banilla, Bainfi, and Realtas Shaladov, a Vonita Lesho, Ganohi Civilta, agus Mela in the public, a rare or Untivus, Harkion and Winter.
Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people.
Permit Kust, Public Maheran, we Kummerka, Yemor, the Hillachoti, and MP made a Vanacht on Narum, agus we mid gan ein dinne a vasig phone of Sachuishin, Asnor, Haringt, or he, the Melicht, the me Yanacht, Nala, Divarak, or Urshot na Kanuna, Ni Falar, the Nashuna Heron, the Frahul, and a Wishnok, agus Lena Real Vash, agus Latilla Clina, Eat Faina, Ebert, Marwaha, Neshquit, for few A on Don Rosel, Don Yarter A. Ernahinu, Harkion on Realtus Calady, Thomas O'Clery, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonagh, Pádraig McPirish, Eamon Cant, Seamus O'Hungala, Joseph O'Plunkett.
We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we evoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonagh, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Cant, James Connolly, and Joseph Plunkett.
I suppose I'll just say a few words, and I'd love if people join in as well and give their own, say their own few words as well. Growing up as a boy, it was all St. Patrick's Day, was just all about sweets and parades and everything. And just obviously now, it's just the significance is just completely lost. There's a whole new meaning for me personally, and for most of us here. The foundation of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and the significance. It's a drop in the ocean as to how important this actual day is for the for the nation of Ireland, for the sovereign state of Eire. I've been thinking an awful lot recently about James Stephens, even because I mean we've all might have heard his name through history books back when you were in school, but it was always Patrick Pearse, it might have been Roger Casement, James Connolly. We know all the names, but for Stephens himself, I even had a dream about him the other night. It was just he seems to be in my head an awful lot more. And I think when we come here normally on Patrick's Day, we probably don't give him as much respect as we probably should. Just a little quick background. He was obviously born in County Kilkenny, but he was a young Irelander, and we all know about the Young Ireland Rebellion in 1848, and which was essentially revolved around one little cabbage patch and the Widow McCormick's house down in County Tipperary. He was injured in that encounter. Actually, he was shot 3 times, and I'm delighted he was shot. I have to say, delighted he was shot, because he wouldn't have gone off to where he went off to. And he went off to France. He had to go on the run, and he went off to France, and it's there that he saw the secret societies and the revolutionary secret societies, and he knew this could work in Ireland, back home. And he wouldn't have gone only for that attack there in County Tipperary at the widow McCormick's cottage. So when he came back here in 1856, we're all aware of his, walking 3,000 miles around the country. Well, mostly walked. But even, I'm trying to understand what the equivalent of that would be today. Walking 3,000 miles, we can send an email now, we can text, we can drive, we can do whatever we like. So the commitment, exactly, that was involved, and that was just absolutely huge. Part of his trip on that 3,000 miles, he went down to William Smith O'Brien, who was head of the Young Islanders at the time, or in 1848, and even then, William Smith O'Brien had even lost some of the determination. He said that, look, James, the people in the ordinary towns, they're just, the spark isn't there, they haven't got that passion for what you're proposing. And I suppose that would have kept many a man down, but he kept at it, and he kept going on that 3,000, on that journey around Ireland to ignite that passion in people. So much so that he comes here then, Patrick's Day, 1858, here at Lanigan's Timber Yard. I'm trying to remember who else was there. Thomas Luby, Charles Kickham, Joseph Deneve, Garda Shaughnessy. Probably forgetting someone, am I? James himself. And created what we now know as the Irish Republican Brotherhood.
Twinned in America.
It was twinned in America. Now, we're not, it might not have been necessarily on that same day. We're not, it might be the following day, but it was certainly or the following year. It was certainly St. Patrick's Day. But just to, one of the great Fenians was John Devoy. I mean, we all know John Devoy, just steely determination. He's up there with O'Donovan Ross, are probably the two of the hardest, most committed Fenians ever come across. But even Devoy himself, I came across this quote the other day. He says, "I never met a man who believed so thoroughly in himself and who confidently took it for granted that others shared that belief." That's John Devoy, the great John Devoy, speaking about James Stephens. So he's just, we need to bring him to the fore. We need to present him to the people of Ireland in a much more respectful manner than has been afforded up to now. Because James Stephen has created the foundation that we have now today. Yes, the definition of our mission and our aim in the Irish Republican Brotherhood has changed somewhat, but yet the passion, the
purpose,
absolutely, it's fundamentally though we haven't changed. It's all about the rights of the people of Ireland, self-determination, and sovereignty, of course. So we can have a minute's silence, I think, just for James Stephens and those 6 men who are here on that day in 1858. Just like to remember as well, Tom Clark and Bulmer Hobson, who really had a big active part in 1907 of really reviving the Irish Republican Brotherhood again. It never went away, of course, but they really revived it and set it on its, what's a new direction, but it brought us up to 1916 and the foundation document of the nation, the Proclamation of 1916. So Clark and Hobson, their role in all of this is just huge, which is really what brings us up to today. The Irish Republican Brotherhood today, everything is based on that proclamation of 1916. Everything starts from there. And our job today is protecting that claim for the people of Ireland. That's what we're about, and it will happen. The wheels have been firmly set in motion, and it's going to turn into a trundling train. We're on the right path, and thank you, James, and to the men who appeared here, who came here in 1858. Anyone else? Yeah, of course, please, because I'm just really giving an opinion there of so
So cúpla focail rá gum, just to say a couple of words. Familiar faces, and there was a man that brought us all together who isn't with us this year, unfortunately. A wonderful gentleman who didn't give me enough time to get to know him before I assumed the role of secretary. So if we could have a minute for John Robinson, please, let it go. Major Podger Biog, maybe a small prayer. Ornaher, Thornyav,
for Donald,
Gudogad the React, Named the Hole and Talif Marnie Turnav,
Ornaron lay hold for doing the new, Smartone Arvika, Mohammed Arvahuna Fain, agus Nalik Shinagahu, Exertion Oak. Amen.
Namanatha,
Big
Vickers, good name. Amen.
We're just trying to find a video now for John.
Oh, it's on. Are you on Instagram, no?
No.
It's on you. It's in the Sovereign Young League channel, Telegram, and it's on my channel. Telegram.
Right. Nice to play it there for John.
Oh, I watched it. I watched it about 50 times.